In this video, we're going to use Flexbox to make two columns of text side by side, or content. Now, we've done columns and stuff already in the previous videos, but I've added a little more stuff in here. So I've got two images and some headings and paragraphs, and we're going to get these things side by side. So looking at the HTML here, you can see I have a section that surrounds everything, and then each of these columns is a div. So remember that Flexbox acts directly on the children of the element. So in this case, I'm going to apply Flexbox to the columns. So I have these two chunks of content grouped in divs so that I'm not affecting the images and HTML and paragraphs directly. I'm only affecting the divs. So the grouping of our content is really important when we're dealing with Flexbox. So I've got my columns here, and again, I've just done some basic CSS, removed some margin from the body and made the images flexible. So let's target columns. And the first thing we're going to do is set them to display flex. So if we go look at this in the browser now, you can see we have both of these side by side, and that's generally what we're looking for, but the arrangement isn't right. So you can see the one on the right-hand side is bigger than the one on the left-hand side. It's taking up more space. So let's target our columns and the div inside there, and let's just give them a width. So we'll do 50% to make them equal. Like that, and now things are taking up the right amount of space. So we have them side by side. The next thing I probably want to do is make a little bit of space around the edges and in between each of these. So maybe we could put a little padding on here. Let's do 0.5 of an M for now. There we go, that looks pretty good. And let's shrink this down. I want to show you something interesting we can do with Flexbox. So let's say we make it this size here. And you can see that the README buttons are not aligned to each other. I would actually like, from a design point of view, to have the README buttons align with each other. So we've currently have the section set as a flex container, and that's affecting these two divs inside it. But we can also essentially have Flexbox inside of Flexbox. So if we target these divs and change them to display flex, but instead of flex direction row, we'll change them to flex direction column like this, we can now distribute the text within there. So it's not doing anything yet. The first thing we're going to do is we would have to set justify content to space between. That will stretch everything out so it's all equal height now. But I would like actually to have the headings aligned and the paragraphs aligned. So we could do that with the flex grow. So we target columns, space P, and we'll say flex grow. Keep wanting to write group flex grow 1 like that. And now you can see the paragraphs are taking up all the extra space, making everything align, the headings align, the tops of the paragraphs align, and the buttons themselves align. So we're using Flexbox to create the columns side by side, as well as we're using Flexbox to create this vertical alignment and distribution between the two columns by stretching the content out amongst them.